Hello, world. Thank you for joining me. If you're watching this back later, hello to you. I hope you're well. Hope I can keep you company in whatever you happen to be doing at the moment. People often tell me they like to have these longer live streams on in the background when they're doing stuff around the house. And that seems like a fine thing to me. I'm all dressed up because it's formal Friday. I've had a haircut. And hey, Luke, hey, Aussie Gun Bunny. Oh, and the Stoves decided to say, let me sing you the song of my people. I'm just going to stop it 1 second. I don't know if the fucking fridge is doing it. I can't really stop the fridge when the compressor goes off. I can. I'm going to make a video a bit later, and we'll definitely stop the fridge from making door at this time. Oh, okay, Aussie Gun Bunny, you're listening to me now, doing the dishes. Nice. Excellent. Excellent. That is a good and wonderful thing. My beard look really uneven. This bit here's uneven. Look at that properly in the mirror. But I'm not that good at the grooming, quite honestly. Luke, you liked the Shut the Fuck Up video? Thank you. Well, again, that came out of the discussion we had earlier in the week about how I hadn't been doing pre-recorded videos, and it was like a collective decision, like, yes, it's got to be shut the fuck up to the coronavirus protesters because they're such fucking idiots. So yeah, that set us there, and now I want to do that, and that's wrong. It's, as I say all the time, and it doesn't get any easier, watching myself on the monitor, I have to, because it's not a mirror, and I keep wanting to treat it like a mirror, and that doesn't work. I have to do the opposite. Like my impulse, like when I point to my drinks, the impulse is to go, they're over there. No, actually, that's the right thing to do, isn't it? My brain was overthinking it. But it feels like they're just there. Like if it was a mirror, they'd be there. But I know they're there. David, thank you. I've obviously got to get back into the rant videos. That was like 2 months. 2 months without a video like even approaching that. So, but yeah, it's, and I freely admit the whole fucking weird world we live in now had messed up my head, and I couldn't find meaning or value in doing the videos. I just really enjoyed these live streams, but I think that's like broken the drought now, so I can do some more, and we'll see. And good evening, Stella and Peter. Nice to see you both. Metaphorically speaking, nice to see the text you make appear on my screen through the magic of the interwebs. You touch some keys on a keyboard. Electrical impulses go to your computer. They transmit through the ether, and a representation of them arrives here. Not my PJs. No, it's Formal Friday. Formal Friday, and I'm also going to shoot a video. And I've decided this is my look for shooting cocktail videos. Probably going to wait a few minutes to see if Aidsy surfaces. Via text, he tells me he is. He is going to join us. We shall see how long it takes. But just like the devil, when I mentioned his name last night, he suddenly appeared. Yes, Luke, through the power of the internet. Yes, as a Gun Bunny, it is quite cathartic doing the shouty videos. It feels quite good doing it. So you are lounging in your PJs, Stella? I've got no objection to lounging in PJs. I spend half the day most days. Like I normally have get out of my PJ's dressing gown at lunchtime and have a shower. And hi, Annette, how are you this evening? So working from home, doing everything online. If I end up like if I'm having an online meeting with someone and they're the type of person who wants to turn the camera on, and it's like, oh God, I can't do this with my bloody dressing gown on. I've got to we're gonna have a shower and get dressed like a human. Like that, I was in Gun Bunny, as Tom Green would say, unleash the fury. Yes. As one of the things the haters used to say, thinking they were clever, going, "You're gonna have a stroke being angry like that. That's bad for you." I was like, yeah, well, I get that you're really a really fucking stupid individual, but yes, it's quite the opposite of stressful. The catharsis is a significant release of stress. Peter, you're a 2 p.m. shower person. Nice. And Catherine, you've just finished dinner? And it's payday, so you had Chinese. Nice. Yeah, we get takeout like once a week. Often it's Thursdays was burger night. But this week, young Mr. Angry is at his mum's place, and young Ms. Angry has decided she's off burgers. So we had pizza. Takeout night this week was pizza. But yes, with young Mr. Angry back next week, he hasn't had burger for a while. We'll probably get burger. You like the Ty Davids? Ren and Stimpy. So obviously Ren. You probably can't read it. It says, "You filthy swine." And then there's Stimpy with a nose goblin. And at the bottom is Ren in the bath, and Ren's bath bubbles going up Stimpy's nostril. Good. Oh, look, that's hilarious. You got a hater comment from sharing the Rosie needs to change his name. Don't a sweet fuck all about sweet fuck all, but a big fucking melody. Which is doubly hilarious because that means that fucking clown just outed themselves as a conspiracy spouting fuckwit, which is just beautiful. He doesn't know anything. I know it's like Bill Gates behind it with 5G infecting my brain with the coronavirus. Oh my God. I just feel like those fucking losers weren't toilet trained properly or something, and some weird deep-seated trauma around their toilet training is what makes them behave so fucking weirdly these days. Am I going a bit far with that? I don't know. I'm getting Facebook comments, but getting these things saying can't post comments to some destinations, which probably means Facebook, but that's okay because I'm talking to Facebook. I don't have to write comments, and I can see the Facebook comments, so that's a good thing. That's a happening thing. We like that. So I've got the drink I made the other day, and I haven't drunk yet. The shut the fuck up. I actually have to shoot another little bit of video for that, because I got as far shooting the other night as putting it into the milk clarification, but that took hours. And so I haven't done this is what it looks like after it's clarified, and doing a taste test, which I will do, I don't know, before I make the Pan Galactic, probably before I make the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. Yes, and maybe I will drink it, because that seems like a thing to do. It being a Friday night, I have my signature cocktail, the Shut the Fuck Up. Seems like quite the thing to do on a Friday night. So do that. Well, look, see, you know you're doing something when the haters come out of the woodwork. Um, and it would be mean to say I enjoy the fact that I upset that dweeb, but I enjoy the fact that I upset that dweeb. It's just funny to wind them up. Peter, don't I shoot all at once? Usually I do. Usually I do. I'll shoot it all beginning to end. But the very last thing I did in doing the making of the Shut the Fuck Up cocktail was because it was a really gross color. It was a sort of blue gray, sort of toxic water color. Yeah, it kind of looked like toxic runoff. It tasted pretty good, but it was visually unappealing. And I knew if I did the milk clarification, that would make it a much nicer color, and it did. But the milk clarification process took hours, like I'd be overnight. So I haven't shot the end of it yet. David, remember Ren's toothache? I just remember Ren was always shouting. I think in terms of Ren and Stimpy with me and Aidsy, I'm definitely Ren and he's Stimpy, I think. How's it going, buddy? You have a friend who works in telecoms who's been spreading memes about 5G causing the Rona. Asked him why. I said to weed out the problem people from the friend list. But see, that would make me think he was a problem person in my friend list. Who does he think are the problem people? Does he think it's problem people who like? Or does he think problem people are the people who don't like the memes? Very weird. Oh, Peter, what's the alcohol content? Hard to be sure. But when I pour it out, because it's like 5 shots of overproof alcohol, varying degrees of overproof. So it's probably 8 to 10 standard drinks. So like lots. It's a thing you shouldn't drink, basically, is what I'm saying. It's a thing you shouldn't drink. It's just but it tastes pretty good now, particularly now it's been milk clarified and it's a bit sort of silkier and it's taken the rougher edges off. Oh heck, why don't I do it now? Why don't I switch the camera on and I'll just shoot the last little bit of video. That means switching off the goddamn fridge because it's making noise. I'm gonna crawl around a bit, switching off fridges. All right, I'm gonna crawl around under here because the friend power plant's on the ground in the corner. Ow, my knees. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ah. 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 God damn it. Oh, my knees. Ugh. All right. This is my drink. All right. I'll get the camera ready. I'm going to close the curtain too. Right. What does that look like? Okay, I've had it zoomed right out. I'm going to zoom in a bit. How's that? I think that's too low. No, it's not. Just got to zoom in a bit more. A little bit more. How's that? How's that? That's okay. That's okay. Hazy will probably show up while I'm doing that and I won't see him. Okay, so I get my tiki mug. Big old block of ice. For those who missed it, this is what it looks like. It used to be a really gross sort of blue-grey colour. Now it's this brilliant colour. I'm going to pour it. My tiki mug on a big block of ice. Right, I actually have to turn the camera on if I'm going to do this. Squaz-moi for 1 minute. And here we have the finished product. It's actually another day. Now, the clarifying process, filtering the drink through the curds, took many, many hours. I had to leave it overnight. I actually ended up doing it twice. You can do that. It was still a little bit cloudy when I did it the first time, so I ran it through a second time. You can see that used to be a weird toxic blue-grey color. Now it's this brilliant, almost clear, slightly yellow. And for the taste test, oh, it's beautiful and smooth. And considering I was just honestly being stupid, putting all those high proof alcohols in the one drink, it shouldn't be drinkable. And yet it is. But I need to be careful because considering what I've done, I've got no way of measuring it precisely, but this is somewhere between 8 and 10 standard drinks. But I think that works for a signature drink for the Angry Aussie channel, the STFU. Drink one of them, you'll be telling everyone to shut the fuck up. Drink two of them, you're not going to be saying anything. Cheers. Okay, that's that. Alrighty, back. Got that out of the way. Andrew, do I think Babelfish could translate Trump? Yeah. It's mysterious hooded figure wanders through the kitchen. Oh, it's switched off at the moment because it makes too much noise. Do you want to do me a favor and crawl under the table and switch it back on? You've got younger knees than me. I have a household slave crawling under the table. She has better knees than I do. So there's two switches. You have to switch them both on. Okay. Thank you. And now the fridge sings the song of its people. And that's why I switched it off, so it doesn't make noise like that while I'm making a video. So when Aidsy gets here, we'll talk through the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster, and then I'll switch it off again to make the video. But I will gently sip this, because doing anything apart from gently sipping it would be very ill-advised. Andrew, yes, I still have knees, just barely. Some days they even function. Some days not so much. Sure, I have to switch this fridge on to. There we go. Okay. You have clumps of dust and pain. Yeah, I've had to go to a physio for my knees before when I couldn't stand. Could barely walk. Certainly couldn't bend them. I just don't enjoy bending them. I don't enjoy getting down on my knees. So I try to avoid it. Which is why, since I had a little household slavey here, hey, while you're here, crawl around on the ground and find the fucking switches for the fridge again. Look, you've had to wait 2 days for a plumber. Well, maybe everyone's getting plumbing work done while they're at home. Then again, it usually takes a while to get a plumber. Oh, look, I'll share with you. For the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster, I decided it needs a special glass. And I broke out this beauty, which I don't think has ever been used in like 20... I think I probably bought it like 20 years ago. This is from Planet Hollywood, Sydney, which I'm pretty sure doesn't exist anymore. I don't know why I bought it, but it did. And it sat in its box in the cupboard for 20 years. But I thought this was just perfect for a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. Very garish drink, so it's getting that glass a little bit later. Stelly, yes, no, I was aware of the straight line I was feeding out with getting down on my knees. I knew what I was opening myself up to there. No, God, there's a line in that too. I can't stop with the double entendres. What color is it? Yeah, it's weird. It looks much more yellow on the monitor than it does in real life. In real life, it's a very pale yellow, like it's almost clear. Yeah, on the monitor, actually, the block of ice you can see in there lightens it, but on the monitor it looks really yellow. That's weird. I decided to decant the shut the fuck up into this. I thought it would fit, and it didn't. I don't know. There was probably half a shot left over. There's not much left over. Maybe half a shot. And during the day when I was decanting it, and so I just drank the half shot. Oh, by jings, did I feel it. It was like, okay, yeah, that's got lots of alcohol in it. Okay, I only drank half a shot, but it's got a lot of alcohol in it. Okay, cool. Yes, Andrew, that the absurdity of Hollywood does make that really garish glass kind of perfect for the personification of Hollywood. Ooh, you know what? I get to do the equivalent of an unboxing. I was just wondering if and when AIDS's actually going to show up. I got, because anyone who's watching his headset sounds like shit. Just getting him a new headset, and it actually arrived today. I thought it would. I was hoping it would, and it did. So I can take it to him on the weekend. I'm just going to grab it because I haven't even opened the package. I'm not sure what it looks like. So it's in a huge box. Huge bloody box. Those things with excessive packaging. Right. So I have to text him. I already have texted him twice, and he did reply. All right. Of course, it's in bubble wrap. Let's try and undo the bubble wrap. Yep, there's lots of tape on it too. Okay. Oh god, I'm making it difficult. There we go. Ugh, more tape. All sealed up with so much tape. All right, here we go. Bubble wrap. Come on, bubble wrap, come off. Ugh. Now the box is sealed in plastic. Oh, so much waste. So much waste. Okay. See, it's pretty sexy. It was half price. That's why I got it. But because it's got a mic. What I'm tempted to do is actually keep this for me and give him the one I've been using. And the reason the one I'm using doesn't have a like swing arm mic, it's got a conductive mic in the headset. And he always makes horrible fucking noise messing about with the microphone. And he'd make less horrible noise if he didn't have a microphone to fuck with. So besides, maybe I just want the new headset. Maybe it would actually work better for him to have a headset that doesn't have the swing arm mic. Maybe. How much sumac do I have? I tell you, you ordered a stylus the other week, came in shoebox sized packaging. Yeah, I've ordered one or two bottles of booze since lockdown, and one came. It was also in a actually really. I've still got it because I kind of want to do something with it. I think I've showed it to you before. This neat sort of bubble wrap thing designed specifically for bottles. Like you open it up and put the bottle in there. And I really wanted to like, make a YouTube video, put an empty bottle in here and like throw it off a building or go to a car park, like a multi-story car park, go up to the roof and throw it off the roof and see if the bottle breaks when it hits the ground. Typical bloody YouTube troublemaker wanting to do things like that. Still might do that. I have a real desire to. But besides being in this, then this was in a box that was about 4 times larger than it needed to be. And so there's a bottle in this big box, which is ridiculous. But then I got another one delivered. And it was just wrapped up. It was no excess packaging. And I was like, oh, okay. Some people have their shit together. Some, not so much. But, Jesus, that fridge is going to town. Probably because I had it switched off for a while. That's okay. Just really going to have to switch it off again when I go to make another video. Maybe I will text him again, actually, because it's been like half an hour. Just to get his attention. Just to get his attention. I might double send the email. Send his email. Resending just in case. Okay. So that might prompt him with another email. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you can't hear the fridge. It's really fucking annoying to me. Luke Yerrick in Australia posted very slow. Oh, yeah. See, Catherine, I don't care. Like, I don't want to keep the packaging. So if I throw it off a roof and the bottle breaks, say la vie, I'll just chuck the whole thing in the bin. There's actually even a specific car park I'm thinking of that I could probably get away with doing it. I'd need a partner in crime, someone on the ground videoing what I do from the top of the car park. But I'm just trouble, really. What is this? Oh, it is. It's licorice. Because this has got a full shot of my absinthe in, which is usually a bit bitey. And what the milk, one of the things, the milk clarification process does is really tame down all the flavors. I was thinking, this has got an interesting flavor. And I realized it's licorice. That's the dominant flavor in absinthe, aniseed or licorice. But it's tamed it right down. But I sip and go, and it's also quite sweet because there's a fair bit of fruit juice in this. So it's kind of like a licorice lolly. It's pretty fucking good. It is honestly pretty fucking good. Lee, you like this is the shut the fuck up. Yeah. Oh, the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster, you're saying is your favorite drink. Oh, Luke, where the boxes come to Box Hill. No, that's an error. It's a train station, like it's a commuter car park. It's like 5 to 7 levels. I've only been there a couple times, but it's 5 to 7 levels, and it's open at the top, so I could get up the top and just like throw this off. And it'd be very interesting to see if this is enough cushioning to protect a bottle. Science. It's all about science. I'm not a maladjusted social misfit. I'm a scientist. What's the line from Adam Savage on Mythbusters? He goes, "Remember, kids, the difference between screwing around and science is writing things down." So, hey, if I'm doing an actual experiment, recording results, that makes me a scientist, not a troublemaker. But of course, scientists have historically been troublemakers, quite regular troublemakers. Oh my God, I just thought, like, Lee, we're talking about 42. God, there's a vodka called 42 Degrees. I should have got that. I've got a lot of vodka. I don't need just a specially named vodka. Luke, you're going to quack for science. That's fair. That's fair. If it's in the name of science, it's fine. So I think it mostly worked out with AIDSy what our version of the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster is going to be. Never drink more than 2 Pan Galactic Gargle Blasters unless you're a 30-ton mega elephant with bronchial pneumonia. Which, again, topical, because that's one of the complications that kills you if you get the Rona, pneumonia. So it's a good idea to drink a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster because it fights bronchial pneumonia, apparently. It's funny, there are so many online recipes. Like, everyone and their dog has had a go at making a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster because, because it's so silly. It's just nonsense ingredients. On the drinks effects. After 2 of these babies, the dullest, most by-the-book Vogon will be up on the bar in stilettos, yodeling mountain shanties and swearing he's the king of grey binding symptoms of sex queen. But the way Hitch-hiker's Guide gives the mixing instructions for the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster, take the juice from 1 bottle of Old Jank's Spirit. I'm going to make that absinthe. Pour in 1 measure of C's from Sagittarius V. Now I'm going to put my sumac vodka in there because that's got the spice vodka, which is sort of salty sour. So I think that counts as the waters from the sea, a salty beverage. 3 cubes of Arcturan Mega Gin to melt into the mixture. Must be properly iced or the benzene is lost. Well, obviously I can't do that, but I do have some Navy strength gin, so I think that counts as Mega Gin. So we'll put some Mega Gin in there. Okay, AIDSy's having trouble. Okay. Yeah, no, it's just having normal AIDSy trouble. Then it's like allow 4 liters of Thalian marsh gas to bubble through it in the memory of all those happy hikers who've died of pleasure in the marshes of Thalia. So I think from the conversations we had, I want something that's kind of marsh gassy. So I'm going to put half a shot of mezcal in, which is very smoky, but also just for the gases generally. Gases generally, I think we'll carbonate the beverage. Have I got any? I made something on my soda. No, I did. I made some on my soda stream. So the marsh gases will be soda. And on the back of a spoon, float a measure of hypermint extract. I actually got some peppermint extract from the cooking section of the supermarket. So I'm going to do half a bit of... I'm just going to do a tiny bit of peppermint extract and on the back of a bar spoon. So it's float the peppermint on top. And for the tooth of an Algolian sun tiger, watch it dissolve. Everyone says they normally substitute a sugar cube there. I actually got some silly sugar cake decorations. I'm going to drop one of them in. And sprinkle Zamphor. I think I'll sprinkle some sumac on top. It's already in there. Add an olive. I think I've got an olive somewhere. And drop an olive in, and then you drink it very carefully. Ooh, Lee's got a date night. Nice. Tomorrow night's my date night. So I won't be doing a live stream tomorrow because tomorrow's date night. Okay, AIDSy. Backstage. Yes, I think he's followed the wrong link from one of the old streams because he's saying he's backstage, but he isn't. We'll see. He's struggling, as it were. I've still got a lot of this. I'll leave this and make a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. If an AIDSy actually does come on. AIDSy does like voice to text, and so it never makes any sense, much like when he actually talks. But yes, I think also because the voice to text approximates what he's saying, it is even more unhinged than the stuff he normally says, which is quite honestly saying something. So that's a real actual thing that technology can make AZ weirder. And let's go. Yeah, okay. Now he's here.
Yeah.
Speak the devil's name. Here he is.
Yeah. Hey, I like your haircut and your shave.
Thanks, man.
And
It was
it's all good, and I'm going to have one too soon, though it's
cool.
kind of pointless. But I was just calling you a poofter because I couldn't get onto the link, and I realised that the error was partly mine, and so I'm going to take a little bit of a hit on that one.
Okay.
But for the rest of it, I will expect the treatment.
Yeah.
And once you're done with that, who fucking knows, man?
Glee said she had the same problem as you. She was clicking on the link to an old stream. She said, "Look, suave, because it's Formal Friday for me, and I'm also going to shoot a video going to make a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster."
Absolutely.
Yes. So I think we agreed on all the substitutions we were going to make. I've got a special glass for it, and I guess, although I bet it's going to come out a really gross color. So this last thing I'll have to do is milk clarify it, and then it'll come out a really nice golden color, because most representations of the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster, it's either golden or green. So, and almost everything that goes through the milk clarification process comes out a golden color. So I reckon that's what we will do. So, and the usual question, now you're here, you can either look after the people, and I'll switch my mic off so it's not distracting, or I could leave my mic on and you could give a running commentary on what I'm doing when I do it. Depends what mood you're in, good sir.
I was literally going to ask the same thing of you, what mood you're in. If you would like just some chill space as you do it, then be that man. Because I'm prepared to talk the hind leg off a Arcturian megadonkey underwater. Thank you.
And then you could convince it to get up and walk out of the room as well.
That's right. Then convince it to get up and walk out of there. Beyond that, bro, I'm good.
So,
weird things happened to me today.
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
Just weird?
Nothing good. Just weird.
No, just weird.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, the choice is yours. I can switch the mic off so you can run proceedings for 10 or 15 minutes, or I could leave the mic on and then I won't be able to hear what you say, and you can just give an extremely disparaging running commentary of what I'm doing. So it's up to you.
No, I'm not going to disparage. I'm not going to disparage, my man.
You're tied in knots there. What's going on?
I am tied in knots. I'm going to untie a knot for a second.
Oh, now he's off and running. Now we're going to have this problem where his mic doesn't work again. That's why I need to take him over a new headset. Because
so what's happened there is I've had to put some water in a jug of fed, so that I might be able to have a non-parched throat with which to speak with ye.
Yeah, that is a very fun idea. So the headset I ordered did arrive, and it just leads me. Now I think, because I'm going to bring a headset over to you that is less shit than the one you're using.
You make me a little bit erect when you say things like that.
But the only question now I have with myself is, do I bring over this new one to you, or, do I decide I want to keep the new one and give you the one I've been using? And the two reasons I do that: one, because I'm a bastard.
But we've always done that anyway.
Yeah. But second, the other headset I've been using doesn't have the swingy microphone that makes all the noise. It's an induction microphone in the headset. So it just actually, so you don't have to worry about the mic arm. You just sit the headset on and talk normally. And it's less mucking about. So that just occurs to me. Yeah.
That's a bit American tech giant, isn't it?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
with E3.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking of that one. Then it makes less noise when you take it on and off too. So yeah. Luke wants me to leave the mic on while I'm making the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. I don't know. It's down to you, buddy. If you want to.
Yeah, no, I'm up to
loquacious with
entertaining the spaceships to the people. I'm doing it. I'm steering I can't remember what the fucking name of the ship was. Looks like a fish. It's gorgeous like a fish. Steers like a cow. I can't remember the name of it. It was the best thing that this designer had ever made. Trouble was it was a shit actual ship, and it was the thing that was going to destroy a planet as the crescendo moment for head damage.
The disaster area ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So black light just falls into it.
Yes. So black light. One of my favorite bits out of that section is Mr. Capaldiforce is spending a year dead for tax reasons.
What I loved about that bit in thing, because they've ended up at the restaurant at the end of the universe with a time jump, and they lost Marvin at some point. They thought he was gone, but they actually found him there, and he'd waited for them in real time. Like he'd actually been there for eons waiting for them. And then when they were on the disaster area ship and they find out it's programmed to crash into the sun and you can't change the programming and someone has to stay behind and teleport the others off. And they say to Marvin, well, you do it. You're not real. And Marvin goes, some people who spent eons waiting patiently for you lot to show up might expect slightly better treatment. Some people might, not me. I'm far too intelligent.
That's right. Everything was,
It's like
every robot that was made was designed with emotions to make your day better, and Marvin was designed with misery, as to be closer to what you need at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, Abigail knows it. Looks like a fish, moves like a fish, steers like a cow. Yeah,
the fish steers like a fish. That's what it was. The fish.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what the animal was.
The Sirius Cybernetics company, who called the robot your plastic pal who's fun to be with.
That wasn't by the way.
Cybernetics company who called the robot your plastic pal who's fun to be with. Check it out.
Shut the fuck up, Siri. Honestly, she thought I was talking to.
That was not a mistake. That plastic pal that's fun to be with. That was completely a deliberate thing by Adams.
Oh yeah.
Years later, they were asking him about it, and he said the weirdest one he had was with the Catholic Church in Ireland, and how they said how could he feel all right about corrupting Ireland's youth with his book, and he's going, fuck, where are they going to slap me? Where are they going to slap me? Because there is a number of places they can slap and probably should slap me with his book, and it was no, it was that your plastic pal who's fun to be with, and he was looking at him going, "I have nothing to say. I have nothing in my mind. There is nothing here." And apparently there was another priest sitting on the bench, at the BBC. And it's a TV gig. It's not a radio gig. It's a TV gig.
Yeah.
And this other priest is sort of looking across, going, "What the fuck are you saying? Where are you going with this? Is there anything behind what you've done? Have you just read a line and gone, that's enough, and walked away?" Because a lot of priests do. I know. I've seen it in actual action.
Yeah.
A person whose affections I enjoyed.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Have a class straight after the time we had. We'd organised our timing so that we'd had blah timing and class, and sometimes we'd go long. That was put very poorly, so I just apologise.
Okay then.
And this individual would pick up any fucking book in the pile, look at a line, and go, right, that'll do. That's what they're doing, and then just fucking scuttle on out of the room. Basically, that's the lesson plan done for the day. And I occasionally would hear the guy saying, "I want everyone to think and consider this line. What would we all be if it wasn't for petunias and whales?" Saying, "Oh no, not again." But sir, it was the petunias saying, "Oh no, not again." Well, a gold star for you, but that's not the question as I was asking. So I guess the gold stars get taken off, don't they?
Yeah. I had Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy recommended to me by a dude running a Catholic retreat when I was in like year 10. Catholics do this thing called retreats. It's if you were a Buddhist, it'd be like going into a monastery to meditate, but Catholics don't do weird shit like that. They take you off somewhere else to be away from the outside world, and they call it a retreat. But I think the guy who was running, I think he was like a Christian brother. I don't think he was a priest. But yeah, he decided after talking to me that I'd like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, although it was probably close to 5 years after that when I finally read it. And I did like it. And it was also because it was on the ABC. The TV series was on the ABC, and I liked that. So since I had that, I've got the vinyl. I've got the double vinyl of the BBC radio play version of the Hitchhiker's Guide, which is slightly different to the TV series, which is slightly different to the book.
It's really hard to look at the vinyl and to read the book and to go which is which, because you with the vinyl you're virtually with the original source material. That's what came out every week.
Radio play was the first.
That was the first thing, right? But the first polished thing, the first buffed up thing for proper consumption was the book, and it was gorgeous. So I always wonder, what is it that I should fall in love with more? The book, because remember, it's hard for me to read. reading
Yes,
to me
true.
is a fucking investment. It's like I've got some fucking, some fucking real time to put in here.
Yeah.
And the other thing is to get the fucking the flowing of the actors over those vinyls
Yeah.
was something that is a lost art in today's entertainment. We have YouTube. We
Yeah.
have different kinds of tube. We have different kinds of what do they call them? What do they call those sound things? Um, uh, you listen to it, and it's a sound thing. Fuck. Um, uh,
What, a soundboard? I don't know where you're going with this.
each week, I, the presenter, put on a show that is made out of sound. It is put on a pod.
A podcast.
Podcast. Thank you, God. I was going to get there in the end. So we have these podcasts. We have all these things, but we miss the subtleties and the nuances of the of the really good 1970s radio plays, where the
Yeah.
where the fucking pythons were secretly in the background, writing for everyone, where Bill Oddie and fucking his dodgy mate was, secretly the mafia dons of everything in
Yeah.
comedy, and they had a sense of quality and a sense of pride in their quality. And you knew that once that product hit the shelves, you could sell it right around the world, 2 or 3 times, and get a good deal on it. Why? Because it was good comedy,
Yeah.
done at the right time, done at the right timing. You know, fucking just the fucking Douglas Adams really was the enfant terrible of that whole crew. Was the new wave of what was coming, and what was coming was the restaurant at the end of the universe.
Yes.
That was what was coming, and it was good. Did you ever play the game? Did you ever play the video game?
Oh, there was a text-based Hitchhiker's Guide game, and you'd started off waking up in the morning, you're Arthur Dent with a hangover, and if you don't take like a headache tablet straight away, you die. And
there's another one. There's another one called Titanic, and it's not Arthur Dent per se. It's basically you get on this cruise ship that stops off the Earth and picks you up, and takes you halfway across the universe. Halfway across the galaxy, and you've got to work out this crime that's been committed, and enter it into the computer, so that the criminal can be stopped and punished, and
Okay.
you can be put in control of the ship, and you end up owning a cruise ship to do with whatever the fuck you want.
Okay.
Go with wherever the fuck you want to go.
Hmm.
And if you move a set of 3D goggles around the monitor, and you can move your right and left fingers so that it would move vertical and horizontal uh, 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 flash bars. Basically, what you could get is a meeting point, and if you could get that meeting point to stick and to go for any length of time, then that would be a a, a navigation line, and that'd do it. But my God, it was hard to do. Think of the
Yeah.
stuff the poor guys had to do in Apollo 13. It was that kind of stuff. Anyway,
Sounds all right.
it was awesome. It was an awesome game. You had to kill larks. You had to find. You had to find. What do they call it? Sculpture. That was everywhere. You just didn't notice it.
Oh, okay.
It was there. It actually was very good too. And yeah, you had to basically uh, uh, yeah, advance yourself up through the classes of cabin until finally you got to sort of super class,
Okay.
and then you can go anywhere. It's a good game. You should get it. You should get it. Douglas Adams wrote it, and it's fun. It's the first fun thing he did
Hmm.
after fucking Mostly Harmless, which was really miserable.
All right. Well, I might
Anyway,
leave you in control for a while
good.
and actually make the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. But there's Glee saying she wants a cocktail called an Oodna Dada. Don't know what it'd be like, but it sounds very Australian.
So,
Which is a
Eden
fun.
Data is a really good place.
Yeah.
I've been to the Data.
All right. So
You've been there, haven't you?
I am now switching off my speaker so I can no longer hear you.
And
And
the
now I'm
man
switch off my mic.
switches off his speaker, and he no longer hear us. It is time for him to make a cocktail. Righto, peeps. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the live comments bar to see if I can actually talk to you. Peter Cook and Dudley Moore were more hilarious. Peter Cook and Dudley Moore were hilarious. Yes, they were hilarious. They were fucking toxic, but they were hilarious. What do we got? Wife has given me a haircut. Wish me well. Aussie Gun Bunny, you be fine, mate. Peter PT Chronic, one of the hardest text video games I've ever played. It was Stella Morris. I just lost the game. Stella, don't take it on in any sense of urgency. You've got to take it on in the kind of calm that Buddhist monks reserve for throwing water balloons at high poo bars that come into their courtyard. It's that kind of thing, you know. That is not an appropriate thing. I will tell this to you another time. Anyway, Glenda Glee's gaining. I want a cocktail called an Udnadetta. Yes, we talked about that. Hi, AZ. Hi, Stella. Glenda Glee, particularly nasty weather at Udnadetta. I can imagine it's not very nice here in Melbourne, which is unusual for this time of year. I love autumn in Melbourne because it's gorgeous. I love spring in Canberra because it's just heavenly. And my favourite season on earth is autumn in Canberra. It's fucking gorgeous. It is totally gorgeous. So, guys, it's time. It's time for us to start talking about how's the fucking drive going? How's the putting in the fucking money going? Is everybody fucking punching out their children's milk money funds to put into AZ's needs a tablet fund? Needs a tablet, needs to get to Canberra, but we'll work that out as we go. It's going to be well worthwhile, I promise. For you, actually. Me and Angry have been talking about this for quite some time, and have you noticed how Angry's been a little bit annoyed about how my headphones haven't been working very well tonight? Let's have a look. Evening, unknown water balloons at high poo bars makes me want to go to Canberra. Yes, go Stella, we'll go. Let's do it. Fuck it, we're gonna go and throw some fucking water balloons at high poo bars. It's a Cook and More reference to one of their sketches. Yes, it is. Has the GoFundMe been set up yet? I don't know if the GoFundMe has been set up. I know it's going to be set up. It's going to be a very quick thing. All of the people who should know, and we'll be able to tell the people who should also know very quickly. I think I would be very surprised if the thing isn't up and running by this weekend. What else have we got? Has the GoFundMe managing? Good on you, Glenda. You managed the fuck out of that. I'm gonna sit here and look at you managing the fuck out of that with a little bit of jealousy, because you're a bit beautifulist. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, and I think you know you're not. Basically, you're going. I'm not just fucking zoning along. I'm managing. I'm making happen. I'm organizing into pots. I'm organizing into zones. I am using green ink, blue ink, and black ink. Thank you. The red ink is for the disasters, which we get more of these days. Oh, it's better. Is anyone studying anymore, or have those days left us? So no one's. I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any. How's your sleep deprivation going, AZ? I almost burnt down the house because of my sleep debt the other day. Stella, don't burn down the house because of your lack of sleep deprivation. I have a keyboard that was given to me by a wonderfully wonderful friend. And I had it a week and a half, and he literally came into my back of my house and saw me with my face like face down into the keyboard and a cigarette coming out of my face into the keyboard. It had burnt a line into the keyboard, and I woke up and I'm going, oh Christ, this can't be good. And he said, I said, that's just there's no talking around this one. I fucked up a beautiful keyboard. I'm sorry, man. And he said, well, I'm actually a little bit more concerned about your face. You've actually clearly burnt right through it. We're going to the hospital because I think you've actually burnt right down through your lip to your tooth. And I've gone, really? Really? And he said, yes, and you've definitely burnt down through your what is it? Not uvulum. It's something else. It's called something else. I used to know what it was called. And I went into the hospital thinking it's just going to be a 6-hour wait, which is good because I'm going to have my friend to talk to. And my friend and I didn't get to talk very much because they had one look at me and they said, right, you're coming straight in. And asked him what had happened, and I explained to him what had happened. And they said, you haven't slept a lot lately, have you? And I said, no. And they went, you've really got to try and sleep some more because you're killing yourself. And we're going to do we're going to do a blood test on you now, and you're going to tell us a few little things. And I want you to tell me how much this hurts. And she hit me with a needle on a bone in my shoulder, and I just thought I could see stars. I thought my ass was going to jump out my fucking ears. It was just the most painful thing I think I'd ever experienced at that time. And she's going, right, okay, you're not going anywhere for a couple of days. Ring up your girlfriend, boyfriend, to get your books and bits in. Expect a week's stay. And I said, I can't afford a week. I've got a, shows on and blah, blah, blah. And she said, yeah, that's why we get you guys here. And so, yeah, sleep deprivation sucks. How do you stop sleep deprivation? So, I have been looking at this one in all seriousness, very seriously, for about a month and a half, 2 months now, with all of the power that the internet has, and it has quite a bit of power. You are working in that whole thing you used to work in when you were a kid, when you got told go to sleep, and you wanted to go to sleep, but when you thought about going to sleep, you were thinking and you were awake. And it went round in a circle, and it was very difficult to basically nullify. My brother, the bastard, could just fucking space out and let it go. He didn't give a shit. I wanted to be the good kid, idiot. Anyway, what you can do is you can um, is you can start making up a story where you need to go and get the thing, the MacGuffin, or you need to go and rescue the girl, or the boy, or the MacGuffin, and you have yourself and a partner, or yourself and a squad, and you have all kinds of ways and means of this conflict being made real. And what's important is that you've got rules and that you've got to stick by the rules. And that sticking by the rules meant that when the bad guys come thundering through the door, you can't just magically pop through the window and be happy. When they come thundering through the door, you better have enough ammunition ready to go. Otherwise, you know, you're being grilled on toast in the morning, and that's going to suck, you know. What else can I tell you? Bloody, you know, you can always, you know, video games, right? And anime, yeah. And things like Shield, yeah, Shield, the live action version, which is, you know, Inspector Corson and all the rest of it. It was fucking awesome, yeah. Then one of the reasons why that stuff was awesome was that they had rules, and that when some rule got broken, you couldn't go back and fix something, or you couldn't unstep on a stick, yeah, and you couldn't you couldn't unstep on a stick and go, oh, it's going to be fine because I'll do that again. You won't do that again. What's going to happen is 51 members of the Siberian National Front have just jumped off trucks and have got fucking AKs and are about to fucking shove them where AKs don't shine. So this is the challenge. This is the excitement of doing all this stuff. And when you get all of these stories to tell, you can do that. But one of the things we've been doing is no, I'm not allowed to talk about that yet. I'll talk about that later. I promise I'll talk about that later. But there's a thing that I can't talk about yet. But when you teach other people how to do this, and you get out of them, you know, the years of your shit, you're not worthwhile. You have nothing creative or good in you. The real hero of the family is the boy slash the biggest boy slash the one that made it all the way through to high school. You know, there's always something that that makes one of them better than everyone else. And it doesn't matter because you worked and you went to uni and you shone and you got the degree and you have got the job and now you're doing the training. And basically, it doesn't matter how good you did because no one cares. No one pays any attention to how far you succeeded. And essentially, you've got all of this. You've got all of this body balloon armor to put together so that you can you can get a shake of a stick. Shake of a stick to get something looked at. Well, when in fact, when you know how to be trained properly, you don't need any of that. All you need is a little bit of bloody intelligence and a little bit of framework about what it is that we're doing in our project at work this month. And you don't need to be a diva. You don't need to be, oh my God. You don't need to be an electric songstress. You just need to be someone who cares enough about putting either the product in some people's hands or basically you care enough to make it sound like it's going to be a fun thing to do, and put together that whole thing of, is this going to be a fun thing to do? Is this going to be where the fun is at? Have I built fun today? Hi there, big guy.
Hey.
No, I'll stop.
You are? Yep. Well, predictably, that was basically black when I mixed it, and we need it to be yellow to look like a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. So milk clarification it is. So I'm probably going to have to finish shooting this video tomorrow because it'll take forever to filter through. But yeah, so how have you been while I've been away?
Good. I've been talking about how making videos for corporates is really cool once you get the hang of it. And you can be told how shit you are since you're tiny. And it's easy to do, and it's common to have, and you will be well and truly able to find out, just how much you're useless. So basically, what you need is you and I are going to do a massive hardcore short course corporate creativity training on spot, on point. What we will be doing just as we are going, because we're making shit up as we are going, because sometimes you can't just make shit up out of your ass. You've just got to take a few goes at it. We will be going and doing just creativity. This is what creativity looks like. This is what creativity smells like. This is what creativity looks like when it's in the American military. and you know, it's it's this idea that you know, I know you are, so what am I? So there's that. There's the blues of twos, um, and then there's the do you speak English? No, I'm sorry, I don't, not at all. And then as they turn around, takes out the gun and shoots them in the back of the head. Looks around, wipes the pistol, and then just drops it on them and walks away.
That doesn't sound like, well, it sounds like some corporate meetings I've been in, not like all of them.
Well, yeah,
but
I mean, you know, you've got to basically start with getting ahead in your corporate life, and then have someone come around the corner with a paper, take the gun out, and then put four in someone else's back, and then put back over the paper, and then call, help, 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 someone shot Yuri, help, help, help. And then Yuri, you know, puts his hand up, and then out comes from the paper, boom. Again, out from the book comes from the gun, comes the gun again, and then bang, bang, through his front, and then into the book. Quick, quick, help, help. Some corporate environments encourage an overly aggressive, overly aggressive competitive stance.
Yeah. Well, the average white male who gets rewarded in a corporate environment is indistinguishable from a sociopath. So
exactly. So you basically you change out. You go from there to earlier on, say, easy enough to do, have a dog bark at a cat, yeah, and then have a dog bark at a cat again,
yeah,
and then later on, you have the dog sitting in prison overalls, and the cuffs, and the same guy sitting in prison overalls and the same cuffs, and the dog looks up at him and goes, "What are you in here for?" And you go on with the next bit of the corporate training, which could easily be a module about bloody negotiation, about not dual betterment. What's the word for dual? It's when your dual association makes your profit better.
Maybe you should just leave that one go. I'm not sure where you're trying to go with that one.
It's about profiting rather than trying to kill the other company. We're all trying to profit rather than kill one company.
Cooperative, or
something like that. Cooperative, it's probably something like that.
Or if it's
so less of it these days, we wouldn't know. Go on, what were you saying?
If it's good, it's a cooperative. If it's bad, as in you're breaking the law by doing secret deals, it's collusion.
I did not know that.
Well, there's price fixing is illegal, and so like if competitors in the marketplace, like petrol stations, that all mysteriously have the same price, and it goes down on the same day, it goes up on the same day, mysteriously, they are not allowed to collude so that the prices are the same. They're meant to be competing, and yet mysteriously, the prices always stay on parity with each other with some minor variations. It's the same as Coke and Pepsi aren't allowed to price fix and squeeze competitors out of the market. But the thing is, price fixing happens all the time. Occasionally they get caught. Occasionally they get caught, and they get a slap on their wrists of, ooh, bad corporate boy, don't do that. And they go, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Please don't be mad with me, sir. It was a rush of blood, sir. It was just an oversight on my part. I promise it won't happen again, sir. And they get away.
Pay tax in Ireland.
Yes, yeah, and they just get away with it. So yes, theoretically, in capitalism, see, if you're a big believer in capitalism, you would say that companies don't want to price fix because they want to compete either on terms of cost or quality. But what we have seen over and over and over and over for the last 2 centuries, oligarchs will team up against the interests of consumers anytime you give them a chance.
Every time.
And, you need regulation to keep the evil motherfuckers in line. And, you know, at different times in history, the regulation has had more and less teeth. Like usually, no matter what, usually the oligarchs are in complete control. They can do whatever they want. But every now and then, a government somewhere will take some sort of a stand, and it may initially look like, yay, the little guys won, the little guys won. But then years later, with the benefit of hindsight, you look back and go, oh no, we didn't realize, even when we thought we were having a win, the oligarchs had planned for that, and they had a way to fuck us over with that as well. Going right back to the monopolies in the US in the late 19th, early 20th century, Standard Oil and all of those. And they successfully blocked prosecution for their sort of vicious monopolistic behavior for decades. And then when it finally caught up with them, these are people like Rockefeller and, you know, the original, in modern dollar terms, they would have been billionaires. I think in dollar terms then they were merely millionaires. But I think in terms of inflation, in modern dollar terms, they would have been billionaires. But then it's like, you know, the government finally stood up and said, we're going to break up these companies because you're a monopoly and you're evil. And they went, oh, no. And then it turned out they had a sort of background scam where that actually made them more money anyway. So no matter what, the oligarchs usually control things to the point they win no matter what, unless you go, you know, the whole French Revolution style and have a few trimmings of the corporate boardroom in the public square with Madame Guillotine. That's the sort of thing that you need to happen. Speaking of trims, Aussie Gun Bunny, while we've been talking, his wife has given him a hair trim, slightly hairless. Was it scissors or was it clippers, my friend? That's what, because I had a haircut today. I went and found a local purveyor of follicular management, and they gave me a trim and a beard trim. First one I've had since then. So for okay, banking worldwide is controlled by oligarchs. The Australian banks are a bit different, but certainly the European and American banks are controlled by oligarchs. And the big four banks in Australia do actually collude with the banks around the world. Not that they'd admit that that's what they do. They just go, oh, no, it's just about responsible fiscal policy. They're just all colluding so they all maintain maximum benefit while keeping us exactly where they want us. Oh, Aussie Gun Bunny had a number 5 all over. That's a smooth look. I got a number 4 on the sides.
Aussie Gun Bunny, you're a screaming heterosexual, aren't you?
Well, it was his wife who did it, so that would be. You often go the buzz cuts, don't you, Easy Man?
Oh yeah, I do. Which is when he was saying a number 5 all over, I was going doing like that, and I was going, oh, I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think that's appropriate with the information that I have. So I'm just going to check the information that I have, and then I found out no longer inappropriate. So I'm going to just say that must look sexy as hell. Aussie
I bet he does look sexy.
I'm just gonna leave it there and go. You shave to what you need to shave, sir, and I'm going to let that be. And I'm going to cry myself to sleep tonight, knowing that if I'd played my cards just right, I could have had a little bit of Gun Bunny on the right end of me. If I'd have known how to be a indentured what do they call it? What is it? Hairdresser. And if I'd have been on the right suburb, and if I'd have been set up correctly. All of this sucks, by the way, as I think about it. Thinking about having to set up your own business just keeps on sucking. It sucked when my old man did it in 1975. It just gets harder and harder and harder and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
I was talking to an individual who was losing her mind because of the coronavirus, and she's gone, okay, so I've got this. I'm allowed to open my door as long as no one comes in. So I've got to be here to show them things because you can't not show them things, which means I've got to run out the back, get it, and run to the front because they won't wait. They'll just wander off because they're consumers and assholes. And anyway, so she basically has to have only allowed to have 4 people in that front culvert area. Then the next trick is that she's going to know exactly how many sales she's going to make in this week. That has always blown my mind. That's been around in Australia for years. Tell us your sales before
they happen.
Before they happen. It's like, how the fuck are we going to know that? And what's come in recently, and this will blow your mind, is how many dogs have been in the store?
Right. Okay.
How many dogs have been in the store?
Okay.
And it's like, what's that about? Is it something to do with to do with sanitary conditions? No. How many dogs have been in the store? And it's like, okay, why am I fucking bothering doing this? Really, in the end, I could just fucking fucking sell the business to Aunt Vito and do hits for cousin Jimmy. So it's just crazy stuff.
The crazy stuff, like in New South Wales, they declared venues like pubs, cafes, restaurants can open for a maximum of 10 clients. Now, that is no matter what size your venue is. If your venue used to hold 500 people, you can still only have 10 people in there. If your venue used to hold 50 people, and you can space them suitably apart, you can still have 10 people. Now, Dan Andrews didn't do that because he said, I talked to some people, that's dumb as hell. No one can run a business like that. So we're not going to use that level of opening. If in another 3 weeks, everything's better and we're going to the stage where everyone says, well, when you've reached this stage of coolness with the coronavirus, you should allow 100 people in a venue if you can space them. Then we'll do that. We'll say, okay, we think that could be financially viable for people. But just arbitrarily saying you can open but for 10 people is like dumb as hell. Most cafes, restaurants, bars, pubs, etc., were operating on razor-thin margins anyway when they were full of people. So if you tell them they can only have 10 people, there's very few places. I reckon we were joking about this the other night on the live stream. Millionaires only, like they have to quadruple the prices of everything. So, tell people, even just like, it's, a $500 minimum spend. Okay. If you're coming in, first thing that happens, you walk through the door, we debit your card, $500.
Yeah,
and then you
charge,
food and drinks, and we'll tell you when you've hit the $500 mark. And if you don't hit the $500 mark, tough luck. You owe us the $500 anyway. It's just stupid. It's not going to work. Well, look, my drink is coming out a really emerald green. It still looks dark on the screen, so I think I'm going to run it through the clarification twice. But it looks like the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster is going to be very green.
Clarificator. I've got to say to you that I am very grateful, because every now and again when I'm listening to you being philosophical like, and also going, how big is my dong?
Fair enough.
And I'm going to ask the ladies how big my dong is. And I'm going to ask the gentlemen, how big is my dong? Gentlemen, ladies, how big is my dong? So when I'm thinking about how big is my dong, I will often be looking down and I'll see a nang that has not been cracked. Basically, you have basically saved me the wonders of a nang that had not been cracked, and I can only thank you for that. Your mind powers and mine have joined together to make it as one, to make Nang work a thing that is going to be. Why did I just say Botox in my head?
I don't know.
It's going to be a thing that is going to be Botox in the future.
I know you've started a conversation about nangs. Peter wants to know if you get them delivered. Abigail wants to know what one is. It's nitrous oxide. That thing Aidsy has is meant to make whipped cream. If you put cream in it and then put a nitrous oxide canister there, squeeze it in, the chemical reaction of the nitrous oxide with the cream will whip the cream. If, on the other hand, you are self-medicating and want a little bit of pain relief, because nitrous oxide is also a short-term anesthetic. So you can do that.
It's also not at all highly addictive. A lot of pain killers and anesthetics are very, very addictive. Whereas nitrous oxide, while addictive, all painkillers are addictive.
Or even just psychologically, if you just chase the feeling, it doesn't need to be a chemical addiction. It can be a psychological chase the feeling.
So basically, you're looking at a thing where you're going, all right, how can I do this without having to be terribly or too engaged with the drug itself. Well, it's pretty good. You can go up to IGA and say, "Can I have 6 boxes of your
Whipped cream bowls,
cream bulbs, please?" And they go, "Yeah, sure," and they will give them to you. Sorry?
Because you're an adult and you're allowed to make your own decisions.
Yes, I'm not allowed to make my own decisions, and it's one of the decisions that they less worried about you making. I'm got to go to I've got to go to Richmond tomorrow, and then I've got to come back here. And the thing is I'm going to get a phone call from the drug and alcohol service of Melbourne University, and the drug and alcohol service. I wonder if they mean how to sustain alcohol in your life, and sustain drugs in your life. You would have thought if they were smart enough to be doctors, then they'd been smart enough to be called it addiction medicine, or substances, right? And that and leave it there. Just fucking leave it there. Because the moment you say drug and alcohol, you've immediately said that's addiction. That is something that we're going to stop. That is something that you've put yourself into. That is something that is no longer appropriate for this healing journey. And it's like, well, my healing journey has a lot of pain in it. How are you going to deal with that? Well, we were thinking about, we were thinking about mindful movement, and it's like, yeah, you were thinking about having your name on the bottle when the fucking cops came around. So yes, it's one of those ones. It's going to be a long story, but the story is going to be worthwhile, I think, in the end.
So you were saying you thought Aussie Gun Bunny sounded sexy. He's looked in the mirror. He's just said, "Oh my god, I look like 24601," and I didn't know what that meant. So of course I put it in L's search engine, and that's Havert from Les Miserables. So he's the prisoner from Les Miserables.
That's all right.
Hugh Jack. Yeah, if you're looking like Hugh Jackman, a bit dirty, but all right.
Fucking, what's wrong with that?
A rough trade. What's wrong with that? Sorry?
Who said that they were that?
Aussie Gun Bunny, because his wife buzz cutted his hair, and so he's saying he looks like Hugh Jackman as prisoner 24601, Jean Valjean in Les Miserables.
Do you guys have trouble paying your rent? Because I could be a nasty landlord.
You could be the Russell Crowe character.
Coming around to, is there actually a Russell Crowe character?
Yeah, he's the mean prison warder, Havert.
All right.
Which is very interesting that they made Les Miserables with 2 Australians in like major roles. Hugh Jackman as Jean Valjean and Russell Crowe as Havert. But
right. Yeah, right.
So I don't think Aussie Gun Bunny was claiming to be sexy. I think he was claiming to look.
I reckon he probably is, though. I reckon he probably is. I reckon if you and me
Facebook, I'll be able to see
a photo of him, we'd say Aussie Gun Bunny. Yeah, there I am already. Aussie God Bunny. Fuck. You know, is clearly too far away from anything I can handle. So I need fluoro tape. I need fucking those bollards around him at all times. So when he moves, we're going to have people move that stuff. So if I'm around the area, I won't just go and jump on Aussie Gun Bunny and try and smush myself onto him. You know, disgusting show of no shamed parody of myself and my sexuality. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I want to do about it.
You could do, but
sorry, what was that?
See, it's probably a few things you could do. You know, show some restraint, that type of thing. But yeah. No, that's not viable.
This restraint fellow.
Yes.
Did he go to the same school as us?
I don't remember spending any time with restraint, so.
Okay. All right. All right, I'll look him up. So
yeah.
does he...
See. Yes, go on. Do a Google image restraint, a Google image search for restraints for adults, and I'm sure you'll find some interesting. Aussie Gun Bunny, did you see? Yeah, I know, right? In fact, why don't I do that now? Restraints for adults. And if I look at the images, my goodness, that's interesting. That my word. Well,
it's all about safety, isn't it?
The things people do. My goodness. Well.
I told you about my disappointing sex in hospital story, didn't I?
Well, yeah, you getting restrained in hospital? Yes.
So I was in hospital, right? Getting actually getting drugs put into me and then taken out of me and then put back into me and then put back into me. And fuck it hurt. There was, you know, because hospitals, everyone's bored. It's the OR, everyone's bored, you know. The world is going around and whatever. Anyway, so there was a bit of excitement and there was a bit of rush and a bit of excitement, right? There's a bit of going for everyone's back and forth, and then finally there was look. It's as simple as this. I put it in there to get sexual pleasure out of it, and now I can't get it out, and it hurts me to do so. So if you could do something about that, I'd appreciate that very much, please. And all of these staff came away from the cubicle looking really disappointed. They just looked really flat, like it was like someone had like taken their ball and stabbed it. You know, it was just like, oh, guys, sorry. You know, because they were going to get him to do a lies, and he just wasn't going to do the lies, and it wasn't. Yeah, he just wasn't into it. No, it wasn't going to happen for him.
Oh, geez. I tell you, a side note, Aussie Gun Bunny said if I looked on Facebook, I'd see. I tell you what, Ashley, I'd share it. AZ's going to get the horn if I share it. That's all I'm saying. I've looked at the picture, and if I were to share this, AZ would get the horn. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
So,
okay,
it's going to be up to you, Aussie Gun Bunny, if you feel safe with. I'm not saying AZ's a sexual predator. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he doesn't have certain police restrictions on his movements and behaviors, but
they're all finished. They're all over.
Oh, there was a time limit on them, wasn't there?
Yeah, they're all gone. Well, they were all gone anyway because they were, because they were fake, and then they just fell apart.
Yeah.
I remember getting told, "Oh, by the way, that's finished," and I was like, "Shit, I forgot about that."
You know, it just reminded me of, because as I told you recently, someone commented on the old short stack video, the one where you made the limited edition short stack action figurines, and so you were obsessed by short stack. Do you remember in that sketch what I was obsessed with? Because I didn't until I watched the video, and I forgot we tried to make a running joke out of this.
Was it?
It was rubber chickens, and I wasn't allowed within 100 meters of a takeaway chicken store because of an incident. And we never explained it. It's just that I kept ordering rubber chickens in the mail, and I wasn't allowed near takeaway chicken places because of previous incidents. And I just said, well, you're not allowed within 100 meters of short stack. And your response was, you're not allowed within 100 meters of a takeaway chicken place. So
yeah, that's right. And we'd set this thing up really quick, actually.
Yeah.
And it was actually really smooth. It was actually really, really sweet.
All right. Aussie Gun Bunny said to share this, so I'm going to show you. Where is he? See, this is what he looks like now.
Oh my God. The man looks, that is very, very, wow.
Yeah, that's a sexy Ned Kelly vibe going on there.
Well, that's bloody very responsible looking. Looks like he could get off his bloody bike and come over and say, "Do you realise that you were doing 120 and 110?"
Could be that.
I had a housemate spend 6 hours in Northcote Police Station.
Well, that can't be good.
He did a fucking stupid thing. He and his cousin were in his car.
Yeah.
As the police rolled up, and they had spent the morning having a jog, having a chat. They were sitting down at the squiggly river boat restaurant. They had literally finished all this up and were about to drive home, and had sat down in the car and sparked up 2 minutes of either SpongeBob or one of the other ones. One of the other ones along those lines.
Yeah, don't get bogged down in the details.
And basically the cops came up and said, "What are you doing, boys?" And it's like if they'd have got done at any other point, they would have been fine, but not then. Not at that point. And so yeah, he was spending 6 hours in jail, going, Yep, I'm a tool. I am a tool. I am a tool. And because this whole lockdown is not about watching videos in cars somewhere else after you've had dinner.
That sounds fair. Well, I was kind of complaining that these milk clarified things always came out yellow. This looks like the first one being different. It's coming out a dark green. So the plan was always to top this with soda. So it's going to come out I think the final drink is going to be a proper bloody Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster green.
Wow.
So, because I was
Wow.
worried if it comes out the light yellow that all the other ones had been coming out, when I dilute it with soda, it might have no color at all. But it looks like it's coming out a fairly dark green. So dilute it with soda, it'll probably be a very emerald green, which I think is a very suitable color for a Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster.
Yes.
It's just going to take, I don't know, another half hour to actually filter through
this but, these things.
You can't, as Phil Collins said, you can't hurry love.
You can actually. With,
you can.
The right drugs and a set of leaden tools.
Yeah.
She will hurry love real quick.
Certainly, at particular truck stops, the love happens in a hastened way. So
in a hastened way. Yeah.
God, I used to say the worst things in the early days of YouTube when I had a whole bunch of haters on YouTube. I used to just come back with the most vicious things about, if you didn't listen to dumb shit, you would be dumb. And I'd just say things along the lines of, and if your mother wasn't siphoning up random trucker cum from truck stops, you wouldn't be here. So, what are you going to do? Then I realized I was being unkind to truck stop trick turners. Annette, you don't want to be explaining yourself. With no context, I find that quite fascinating. It's and all caps, I don't want to be explaining myself. Ironically, you have to explain yourself now because I don't know what that refers to. Is that
too good to let go?
Things.
I need that because, frankly, my next plan, guys, is to get all of the old lesbians and ladies that like my comments to, those meme cards that get, pulped around to us as anything happens on the news, and you get 15 cards of stuff that's happened in the politics and stuff that's happened in the news. And basically what I do is I wait until there's about, I don't know, 20 of them, and then I go, Daphne, how could you have done this to me when all I ever thought was for you and the children. And basically you go through and through and through, and then chop it, send your own real news, and then that's it. Anyway, I only did. Sorry.
I was going to say, and it's given some background. I don't want to explain myself. It's actually nothing to do with us. She's just expressing frustration because she had Japanese peach vodka and a super black Russian, and now her kids are asking her sober questions. And don't they know it's Friday night? It's unfair. It's unfair to be asking you questions that require sobriety to answer. They're just not playing fair.
Yeah, no, it's not fair. And in fact, I think maybe they should go outside on the roof and learn how to do fucking tumbles.
That's your party trick.
While defending the house, against fucking an American boat fucking invasion. So
actual true story that I think we've told before on a live stream. After a particularly decadent party in a 2-story house, the next morning no one could find Aidsy, and he was lying naked on the roof, and that was his explanation.
Yes. I was.
How you didn't fall off the roof, I don't know.
Because I fucking was a warrior, and when you're a warrior, you can't fall off stuff. You've got to stay on things, and you've got to stay on things until you go snuggle, and go to sleep, and then you wake up because it's too hot, and it's too hot because the sun's been on.
It was. You were hot. That was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Who turns the sun on?
I don't know.
That early in the day, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a chat.
Say hi to Joanna, who's up in the car. Oh God! Speaking about parties in that house, I don't know if you remember the time we did a New Year's Eve live stream there. At some point, our girling decided we needed to be massaged and said we had to take our shirts off. And girling is a very big lad, and he had his shirt off, and he's oiling us up and giving us shoulder and neck massages, which was great. But there were these really perturbed, easily spooked dudes in the chat going, "Why are you going gay all of a sudden?" And look, okay, if me taking my shirt off and getting oiled up and rubbed down by a large, hairy, semi-naked man is gay, I just don't know what the world's coming to. It's just that level of judgment. You know. Whatever.
Which was, I think, not only fair enough, but very kind. And I appreciated it a lot, actually. I also, I had this weird, okay, so that night, right? Yeah. One thing that happened was that Girling had decided to start reading Milton's Inferno, and fair enough, it's his house. Difficult to stop him doing that. Yeah. And I wouldn't have done it on a but he decided to do it, and fair enough. And he showed me, fuck knows, and us a lot of kindness. Anyway, so he fucking hit it. I crashed out during Inferno. I just, I'd had enough by that point. Yeah. And I woke up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I've gone, okay, where are we? What are we doing? And the TV said, basically, what's on here there? Oh, not much. Just some bloke who's wet himself to Milton's Inferno. And I had wet myself, and I can't, Girling was gone. So at some point, Milton's Inferno had gone. I clearly got some of the first sleep I'd gotten for the first week or so. I'm getting better with my sleep too, by the way.
That's good. That's good. Oh God, and Annette's intrigued already just by Girling reading Milton. Wants to know if he's married. I don't know. He may be, may not, but he's always been a man for drama. I don't think you want to go there, Annette. Love the guy, but he's got he freely admits he's got a bit of an addiction to drama on the relationship front.
You don't want to go there right now.
No. Aussie Gun Bunny saying he's got a massage from a guy who knew acupressure. Best massage ever. I went to one of those sort of suburban shopping mall ones, like Chinese massage, and there was a dude did it, and Oh no, it was a woman who did it. She was just stronger than any dude who I've ever had a massage from. Like her hands were amazing, and she was just inflicting the worst punishment on me. And I'm sort of, what am I supposed to resist? Oh my god! And everyone, they're all talking in their own language and laughing, and I have no idea what they were saying, but I suspect it was something along the lines of, "Hey, I'm doing this 10 times harder than anyone else to see if the Guilo complains. He hasn't got the guts to complain. I'm going to keep hurting him until he squeals like a little girl," which, you know, was pretty much about to do. Yes, Stella, little Asian women who do this massage have just freakishly strong hands from doing massage for all those years. Oh, yeah, the other thing is, it helped. At the time, like my back was really hurting. And at the time, I felt like I'd been just abused and beaten up. But about 2 days later, I just sort of went, oh, hey, the initial bruising has gone down and everything feels great. It actually really worked. For a day or two, I felt like I'd just been beaten up. But when that faded, I was going, oh, no, the thing in my back that was hurting doesn't hurt anymore.
If you can handle really really full on sports massage. Sorry, you notice how I clicked it over to sports massage?
Yeah,
it's one notch up from that hardcore massage.
deep tissue.
Yeah, one notch up from deep tissue.
Yeah.
And basically, if you can handle that, then you can get up in the morning and go, oh, it's like I can actually move. Unfortunately, because of the dynamics of certain sports, and I've seen this happen in different sports at the AIS first in Canberra. I've seen fucking pole vaulters, fucking tough,
Yes.
down the down the lane, and they put their their oar down, and up they go, and you can hear their fucking bones delaminating,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and as you can hear their fucking bones delaminating, it just like, and it's like, oh, you can see everyone around just like, oh my god. I saw one guy just he couldn't deal with it at all. There was no even pretense of control. He just fucking collapsed.
Yeah.
Straight into a hole. And yeah, the fucking next thing was to get the ambulance there and to clean up the piles of vomit.
Oh dear.
Fucking, I saw a girl who she'd come out of her deep tissue and she was feeling so good about the world. She was feeling so good about the world. That was the thing that was really
Yeah.
shameful. And so she goes up to the top
Yeah.
diving board
Yeah.
and fucking she just hit it on the upswing on the wrong fraction of of area and speed, and
Yeah.
she's just taken out pretty much her shins, and you can hear them go crack, or you just sort of splinch crack, and we all just went, oh yeah. And the worst part was she managed to get her bum on the board, and because of that, they couldn't fucking get her on the into the ambulance. And they said, what we're going to do now is we're going to send a couple of guys out, and we're simply going to push you in, and we're simply going to get you from there and get you straight off to the hospital. Okay, that's how this is going to go. No, I don't want you to. And then they pushed her in, and it all happened, and I was just thinking on the way home, I was thinking, why the fuck am I doing this?
Oh my God.
What the fuck am I doing? I could fucking sincerely injure myself. Which I didn't do.
Yeah. See, I'm agreeing with Annette saying that's why I don't do sport. I don't want things like that happening to me, so I just avoid sport. I got Stella's saying it's just fibromyalgia. You can't get anything beyond a gentle massage, or it's like motherfuckers sticking knives in you. Absolutely empathize. I have a couple of friends who have issues with fibromyalgia, and even no massage, chronic pain. And there's our man here is quite well versed in the exciting world of chronic pain. So it's it's one of those things that just sucks.
It does. It does. But you learn a lot from it. I learned some more these last few weeks because with the big epic fucking super witch hanging around, scaring everyone and me, and making it so that my relationship was nearly at an end, and it was. Mr. AZ was almost out of here, and it would have been pretty much the end for me. And so I had a lot that I had to get fucking sorted. You'll notice that I wasn't at work a lot.
Yeah,
me sorting shit out.
Going on.
Managed to do it though. Very impressed with myself.
Good man.
So essentially, I worked out a few things. One of the things that is natural is you get very, very angry at the person who's done something wrong, and you want to do something to them straight away as a revenge play. And then I thought, how is that helping me? How is that gaining me grain? How is that getting me oxen? How is that? Sorry?
That's very zen of you.
Oh, thank you. And how is that? Yeah, how is that making the heart of my lover fuller and happier? And how is that making him feel anything but bad? So I'm going, no, fuck that. We're not having those attitudes. We're having the attitudes where I get the things that I want and I get the things that I need, and everyone else that has been putting in energy into making me have a shitty time is going to be putting energy into making me have a fucking awesome time. And so that is what is going to happen. And so that reminds me to tell everyone, to tell you, to tell everyone to put money into this fucking fund.
Yes, which I still haven't said.
Essentially, there's two things happening, right? There's this fucking tablet happening, and there's a plane trip happening to Canberra. The thing to Canberra is to meet some people there that I'm not going to see again, probably in my life. Some of them are very old. Some of them, two of them are very sick, very, very sick. And, yeah.
All right, so I probably have to get it together to actually set this up this weekend because I've been really slack and haven't actually set it up.
That'd be really good. Yeah. Set it up, and we'll get some cash in there, And
so what's the target dollar wise? Because that's usually how these things work. Say I'm trying to raise this much money. So with the tablet and the plane tickets.
well, what do we say? We say the tablets are. We say 1,400, so we'll say 1,500, and we'll say plane tickets. What are they? Shit.
I don't even know.
I don't even know.
The world is so strange. Anything we knew in the past doesn't mean anything in the future anyway.
There's no actual plane tickets at the moment anyway.
No.
Right? You can't actually go to New South Wales right now. You can't actually go to Canberra right now, which is a bummer because it's so beautiful to go right now. When it's still quite warm. Anyway, fuck that. Don't worry about it. The thing that would be nice is if I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon 3.5, 2.5 to 3 grand. Let's just say 3 grand.
Yeah.
As a target.
All right. That will be the target.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we got people saying they'll throw and we go. So I've got to get my shit together and actually set it up this weekend. Because I'm probably not going to be, definitely not going to be live tomorrow night. Probably not on Sunday either. So hopefully have it up and running. And then we can actually give people a link and can tell all your celebrity friends, and you can tell our old theatre media group, because there's lots of people who know you in there as well. And they're still active on Facebook, so I could post and say, hey, you all love AIDSy. Help a brother out.
Yes. Let's do that. That would be good.
I just realized the time. It's already 10:22. Okay, I think I'm going to go to bed. This thing I'm just going to leave in the fridge because it's going to take all night to bloody finish. And I'm going to have to finish my video in the morning. All bound for morning.
You're a very sexy man. I can't think of things that I would rather do than you. So I will get out of your way, and I want your friends to think about their friends, to think about their friends. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making the old ladies cards and posting them after they've got them. I'm going to give them to them first, and then once they've had them, I'm going to post them to you.
Yeah.
And maybe fix them up a bit, but they're just some crazy shit. They're probably not even fun for some people to watch because they're very long and rambling, but they have a bit of fun in them. All right, look, I'll get out of your fucking way, and
so you'll probably see me tomorrow or Sunday bearing a headset and be in play for the next live stream. So see you soon. Everyone else, look, take care. Hope to see all you fine people again soon. Like I said, probably won't be on live again this weekend, but that would probably make me back on Monday night. We shall see what happens. It's a weird and mysterious world with lots of surprises. So prepare for surprising times. Look after yourself, one and all. And I'll say bye for now.